Aloha! I am the Great Clement, and we are playing Mega Man X2 for the Super Nintendo, the sequel to one of the most amazing games ever made, and of course this one should be just as amazing, right? It's alright. 6 months after the defeat of Sigma, Mega Man X and the Maverick Hunters are still hunting down the last remnants of Sigma's army, because apparently they don't follow the order that... They don't follow the rule that when your leader bites it, you should just quit. Nevertheless, it's 6 months after that, and we are now at an abandoned Reploid Factory. And we're going to go take out the last remnants, or at least we hope we're going to take out the last remnants of Sigma's army. But little do we suspect that real war is about to begin. And we're going to be encountering some Mode 7 graphics up in this bitch. It's Mega Man X2 versus X Hunters. Yeah, it has a subtitle. Go figure. I don't know if the other X games have subtitles, but if they do, that's badass. Purdy X. But yes, it's Mega Man X2. And not much has changed from the formula this time around. We still get the kick-ass intro stage and all the Mavericks and whatnot. So let's get into it. I love that he's riding in on a jet bike. No, green biker dude! That's it. I'm gonna kill every one of these motherfuckers for killing the green biker dude. They can kill Zero if they want, but they killing the green biker dude, that crossed the line. I'm pissed. So Mega Man X hasn't really changed drastically from his brief little game that we call Mega Man X1. He does start off with the dash this time around, whereas in the original game you had to unlock it through Dr. Light's capsules. In this game, you get it right off the bat. Unfortunately, for some reason I can't fathom or explain, Mega Man X decided to scrap the parts that he did have, so he's not equipped with a giant Mega Buster. He doesn't have a helmet that can headbutt rocks real good. He's back to his bare essentials. I don't know why he would go back to his bare essentials. Maybe he got cocky and was like, I killed Sigma. None of these guys are a challenge anymore. Now, speaking of which, here's the first boss. A gigantic mechanaloid, as they're called. And you'd think these gigantic beasts would be hard, but literally it takes like 4 supercharged shots to the head. And this guy is down like a pound. Yeah, that's not very useful. I guess the Mega Man was right to strip down to his bare minimals. Quite the intro stage. Very short. Not as long as the first one.
This is their leader. His name is Mega Man X.
Those who underestimated him are now nothing but pieces of scrap.
We won't make the same mistake. He is powerful, but he is blind to what is happening around him. Our Mavericks will keep him busy until we are ready. Yes, how is the plan proceeding? Collection is proceeding as scheduled. However, we are having problems with the control chip. We have little time. We must finish construction on schedule. We must hurry.
Those 3 shadowy figures are the ones in charge of Sigma's army. And they've got a whole bunch of Mavericks that are out terrorizing the city. So here are our 8 Mavericks. Just as goony and colorful as the last. They all have crazy names, like our first opponent here, Wire Sponge. Yeah, it's not very threatening, quite frankly. Like the first game, we still have heart tanks and sub-tanks and Dr. Light capsules to find, and if you go to the left here, hidden behind the wall is a heart tank. You'll never find that unless you get the helmet upgrade. I mean, you can find it if you really like climbing walls, I guess, but for those people who start the level usually, I don't think anyone was going to get that on their first try. But there it is. If we're going to get the sub-tank that's in this level, we want to climb up here and stick to the top and keep going. And boom, the sub-tank is not far at all. Wow, a heart tank and a sub tank. I could say we're doing some pretty damn good progress if I do say so myself. So Mega Man X still has his trusty X Buster. It still charges up to a yellow glow. You can shoot it when it's in a green glow and do effective damage. He dashes, he wall jumps. It's all the great jazz we know him for. He hasn't really gotten anything new. And there wasn't really anything new added to the formula of the series. I mean, the light upgrades that we're going to be encountering later, they are different than what they were in the first game. But other than that, this game isn't like a huge drastic change from the formula that made the original X1 so great. It's still pretty much the same game with different levels, different robots, and, you know, a different story. The formula will change a little bit after we take out the second Maverick, but other than that, it's pretty basic. And yeah, that's all that needs to be said, really. Commentary over. No, but this game is fantastic. It's a lot harder than X1, but not by too much. It's just definitely the Mavericks can give you a real run for your money if you're not prepared for them. But I took on Wire Sponge first, and I don't have his weakness, so let's see how we do. He's normally weak to Overdrive Ostrich, in case you're curious. But we're not going to be fighting Overdrive Ostrich for a long freaking time. So our Wire Sponge fellow likes to drop seeds that create other vines that can really prick you if you touch them. So you want to blast those out of the way unless you want to, you know, fight the guy with a whole bunch of vines sticking out. He loves to cling to the wall, and he loves to make a shield for himself, and he likes to throw his little whip at you. So you want to stay far away from him, or at least close to a wall, and shoot the vines he spurts. Around halfway during his health, he's going to get this move where he charges red, and after he's done charging red, he'll fire electric bolts down and through the level. When they fire in one spot, they won't fire in that same spot again, so if you see some spot where the lightning shoots, go to that spot, and then, you know, you should be safe. Other than that, the Wire Sponge is pretty damn easy, and he's a good candidate for robot you want to take on first, if I do say so myself. Yeah, he's pretty much a pushover. And that's about it. I got nothing. Yeah! But by defeating Wire Sponge, we get a special little ability that lets us cling to walls and stuff. It's the Strike Chain. Now the Strike Chain is good for, like, reaching a wall that's just out of your reach. Like, there's a glyph that you can't quite reach by dashing, but you use the Strike Chain, and if you can reach it, then you can actually get pulled to the wall a lot better. So it's great for making certain jumps sometimes. It's also great for retrieving items. If you see an item that's hidden in a small area that Mega Man clearly can't get into, use the Strike Chain, it'll pull the item out, it'll give it to you. Booyah! All is great with the world. And now we're fighting Wheel Gator, my least favorite Maverick of any Mega Man X game ever of all time, because his boss fight, even with his weakness, is the most boring, frustrating piece of crap I've ever experienced in my life, and I despise Wheel Gator. His level's kind of cool. He's like in a ship that sort of looks like him, I guess. It's supposed to be a giant green thing, so maybe it's like a gator, I don't know, but he's driving through a city, and I like it. One thing that is... Oh, and there's our mechs. As we remember from the original Mega Man X1, the mechs are great for running around, punching shit, and that's about it. There are different vehicles in Mega Man X2, which we're going to be seeing later, but for the most part, the mechs are exactly the same as you remember them. They dash, they punch. They make Vile an impossibly difficult opponent, but Vile's dead, so we don't need to worry about Vile. But so Zero. Anywho, that's about it. We may see some more mechs later, but we're going to be seeing the rest of Wheel Gator stage in part 2. See you then.